You should build your gaming PC and not buy one. Maybe this is something you've heard before, but you might be a bit apprehensive. What if you break something, or what if you just mess up the building process? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why you should build a gaming PC without sounding like an elitist, or trying to at least. Revamp your PC's audio setup with Fifine and their audio gear. Get professional sounding vocals with the AM8 dynamic microphone. Whether you're creating content or just talking to friends, this XLR and USB-C microphone has your back. To pair with this, the H9 headset is the perfect companion with its 50mm audio drivers providing punchy and rich sound, and its comfy build design allowing you to game and stream for hours on end. Control this entire audio setup with the SC3 mixer, from gain control to mute toggles and everything in between. The SC3 has you covered. So for more information, check out Fifine in the description below. The biggest benefit of building your own PC is you get to create your gaming rig in your image. You get to choose every single part you use in your gaming PC, which is a lot of freedom, I'll be honest. Picture this, you want a 2TB SSD for your gaming PC, but the pre-built you're looking at only has a 1TB. But in order to get a 2TB system, you need to get a bunch of other upgrades which you didn't really want, like a new graphics card or CPU, inflating the overall cost. With building yourself, it's very easy. You just buy the 2TB instead of the 1TB, and you just put it in your PC. Albeit though, a lot of pre-built services are now offering users to choose their parts separately. So maybe you can choose your RAM, your SSD, and maybe even your graphics card. This does vary by pre-built integrator though. But this doesn't stop at performant parts though, because if you want for aesthetics, you can choose the case of your PC if you build it yourself. 9 times out of 10 with pre-built, you get the case that they've built in, and that's the end of the story. But if you're building for yourself, you can choose your own case, which I've done here with this nice Be Quiet one, and it doesn't stop there because you can go as far to choose your theme. With me, I've accidentally gone with this Portal theme, but I've been like an orange and sort of blue merchant forever. You can kind of do this through RGB with a pre-built, but if you wanted to do a bespoke theme, maybe an all Noctua theme with a Fractal North, you can't really do that with a pre-built, whereas you can if you build yourself. When I built my first gaming PC from scratch in 2017, the sense of achievement I had was unparalleled, and this is a big benefit of building a PC yourself. Picture this, you've done hours of research and you've sat down for maybe 2 or even 3 hours building your first PC, because it's going to take you longer the first time you build it, and you finally boot into Windows. The sense of achievement you can get with this is absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong, you can get a sense of achievement with a pre-built PC because maybe you worked really hard to be able to afford one and you finally get to play PC games with your friends, or maybe you get to play modded Minecraft or something. There's still a sense of achievement there, but I suspect this won't be as good as if you built it yourself. There's just something about crafting something and playing on your creation, which is absolutely amazing to me. A huge benefit of building yourself, particularly for you budget-oriented gamers out there, is DIY is often much cheaper than buying a pre-built. If you think about it, if you buy pre-built, you're also paying not only for the product, but for a service as well, because someone's got to build that PC. But if you're doing DIY, you're saving around about $100 on average, I'd like to say. It can vary, it can go from less to even more in some cases. But the fact of the matter is, if you go the DIY route, you're not paying for a service as you're building it yourself. And let's take this $100 savings, that's an extra tier of graphics card you could buy, or an extra terabyte or 2 of storage, or maybe you could go from 16GB to 32GB of RAM. So that is quite a big saving, especially with more budget oriented builds, and this is where I'd recommend doing it yourself. But there have been times in history where buying a pre-built was cheaper than building it yourself. Think of 2021 and 22. These were absolutely insane times as people were buying pre-built PCs just to flip off the graphics card. That's how valuable GPUs were back then. but thankfully in most regular times, it is cheaper to build a PC yourself than to buy one. From the planning phase to the initial boot, the whole process of building a PC is incredibly fun. This is a sentiment that I share, and maybe you do as well, but building a PC, for me at least, is a very fun experience. And buying a pre-built kind of takes that away, because you can't really build it because it's already built, unless if you take it apart and then build it again, which takes the whole point of a pre-built away. But for me, I do like the process of building a gaming PC, where I've made a channel out of it, let's be honest. I've done quite a few PC builds here on the channel, and yeah, I just find it a very fun and rewarding experience. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is, how would you know building a PC is fun if you haven't given it a go? And this is why I strongly urge you to at least try building a gaming PC. But on the other hand, if you've tried it and you're not a big fan of the process and you just want to play PC games with all the benefits of like modding and the high frame rates and refresh rates of PC gaming, and you don't care for any of the building aspect, that's totally fine. Pre-builds are a perfectly good option for this. I see these people, particularly on Reddit, it's quite bad for it, saying you're not in PCMR if you have a pre-built. This is absolute rubbish, because whether you've built your own PC or you game on a pre-built, you're a part of PCMR regardless. And even then, there are benefits to buying a pre-built PC. One, you don't have to worry about building it or compatibility, so you don't need to research, is this CPU compatible with this motherboard and vice versa, will I need to do a BIOS update or anything like that. The pre-built company's got that handled for you. When things hit the fan, which hopefully they shouldn't, you've got a single point of contact for troubleshooting and, in the worst case, a warranty. If you build it yourself, you might have to deal with Intel, AMD, or maybe even the AIB of your graphics card or your motherboard or whatever. This can become quite troublesome, I'd like to say. And lastly, buying a pre-built saves you a lot of time. You don't have to plan out your PC, and you don't have to set time aside to build it, as it will come with Windows already installed. So literally all you need to do is sign into like Steam and download like Epic Games and stuff like that. That's all you need to do with a pre-built. Whereas obviously if you do it yourself, you've got to build the PC. Well, before that you've got to plan it, and then you've got to install Windows, maybe activate Windows, and then install all your software. So it's going to take quite a bit more time. Thus, I do strongly urge you to build your own gaming PC, as it's a very fun and rewarding experience, and it allows for quite a lot of creativity. But if you don't want to do any of that and you want to buy a pre-built, there's absolutely no shame in doing so. You're still a part of PCMR. So if you want to find a budget graphics card to put in your DIY PC, there's a video up there for that. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.